Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Moin. Good evening, lovely people. Hello, Redverse. Hello, Toffee. Welcome, Dutch, Denley, Orinoco. Hello, everybody. As you can see, no Jerry to be seen. I have no clue where he is. I hope he's not too sick, because he has been very quiet recently. I haven't seen one comment on Tabletops. So in case anybody knows anything, put a comment down below. And yes, I grabbed some drinks, and it is the brown lemonade. So everybody, I hope you have acquainted yourself with 2026, the weirdest year of I can remember. It's just, huh? Not even 2 weeks old, and we're on the brink of global catastrophe. We do live in interesting times. What did we do to deserve this? Cheers. Yes, only 13 days in, and it's... let's face it, there's little to go down now, so there potentially is much to go up on. No, I don't think that's Brown Lemonade's fault. You can't blame everything on that stuff. You can blame a lot on it, but not everything. Yeah, Tuffy, I've tested, I've used up my trial for 2026, and I'm now ready for a review of it in 2027. Of course, they will find ways to make it potentially way worse for us. So... But in all seriousness, I hope you lot are hanging in there and having some kind of way to release your stress and maybe even find some comfort in your hobby. And I don't know if skipping to the next year will actually make it better. There's elections on in several parts of this country this year, and in the US, I remember correctly. So who knows what will happen then? Hello, Zork. Yeah. Don't know where lovely little Wookie is. Yeah, Toffee, I feel you in that regard. It's yeah. So, topic suggestions. One that came for me out of the blue was when I opened up my newsfeed at work for work-related computery problems. An article in the German magazine CT on Huzza.de titling Games Workshop bans use of AI in their productivity, which led me to believe that what? How's that newsworthy? Hello, Demon Sub. I think James was the one who posted then an article of the Financial Times, which I sadly couldn't read because I don't have a subscription to the Times. Crispin, hello. Welcome to the evening. Yeah, it's an interesting take. Hide and Seek magazine. What? CT, computer, whatever they actually call themselves way back when. It's the Huzza Verlag, which is more or less an infamous... But that's beside the point. Generally, they only report on computer-related stuff, so having Games Workshop plopping up and not being a video game mentioned is odd. But then again, we will see how that turns out. Uh, Maybe it's just because they don't want employees using AI and stuff gets pushed into databases outside of their control, maybe? Or maybe something in regards to copyrighted material. I think there have been rulings that AI generated stuff can't be copyrighted. It'll be in odd times coming up. And speaking of Games Workshop and digital things, today, roughly around the same time when I read that article, I was shown a video by some person on the interwebs, on the YouTubes, who tried to scan metal Warhammer miniatures and a plastic sprue to replicate them via the means of 3D printing. Uh, it was an odd video to watch. Yeah, didn't go through the whole thing. When he started smashing his resin 3D printer with a sledgehammer, I stopped. So, yeah, that's one odd, interesting bit of newsworthy stuff. In other all tech-related news, I'm in the progress of switching servers for my PearTube instance. You might not know what that is, but PearTube is a open source alternative to YouTube, and the server I've used so far is a wee bit weak and lacking and hasn't enough space, so now I moved on to a new instance, and hopefully that will work better. This will be the first video that goes directly to that instance, so here's hoping it works. In other news, the forums brought up a topic about how to store your games after you put them out. So it was my own server. I had an account on one of the federated servers, but they were just a tiny one, so... Hello, Zoid Pinhead. Zoid Pinhead, happy birthday, my friend, on your 54th, if metadata is correct on all things. No, I don't think it was really use of boxes I was going for. I think Pagan 8 was the one who complained about miniature boxes not being able to hold all your stuff once you build them. Which is... yes. That's something that happens, but at the same time, I can't remember any miniature game that has something like an army-sized unit count that goes in the box again after it's all been built. No, not spreadsheets don't store miniatures. I don't think that's how spreadsheets work. I think. I might be wrong. We need to ask people like Jill on that subject. I think she's more versed in that. Bigger boxes are always needed, and I think that's the whole point. Does Infinity fit everything back into your core box, even if you start buying additional miniatures and terrain? I mean, yes, if you just keep yourself to one box, you might have... stuff might fit in. The Fallout Wasted Warfare box, for example, is also... everything fits back in the box. But the second you add just one more mini, it doesn't fit anymore, so... The fact is that most of our miniature games are made to be expanded over a period of time by additional boxes, additional minis and books, terrain. So just by that metric, you will have at some point reached the critical mass of stuff fitting into your box you bought your miniatures initially. No, Demon Sub, I'm not drinking soy sauce. It is a lovely mishmash by the friendly folk over of Fritz Cola, sitting in Hamburg. If you ever see me drinking soy sauce live on stream, you might want to call the ambulance. Also, why didn't anybody mention to me that my frame of the single take was completely off for the last, God, how long streams? Yes, Ewok, I see what you did there, but it's not a box of holding, is it? It's just a plain old cardboard box, not an infinite box. Maybe if it were a mimic box, then we might have to talk again about how much they can store and digest. Come to think of it, that would make a nice, what you call it, Hero Quest box. Just opening the box and it's a mimic. Good one, Jefferson Pals. Good thinking. Magnets and cookie tins. Bonus, you get to eat the cookies. Now, Mr. Keyboard. That's a very, very touchy subject. The walking chest from Discworld, you mean luggage. I think it's just called luggage. Yeah, touchy in the most literal sense. And people are sensitive to that topic, and, well, bugger all. Demon's Up uses foam storage, molded cases by KR? What's KR? Feels like I should know what KR is, but yeah, I don't know. So last week, I had my first 40k game since in like 25 years with 3rd edition. We had a lot of fun. We did a lot of reading, and I accidentally won. I'm pretty sure that's mainly down to the reason because we both didn't know what we do, and we probably had made more than one mistake reading the rules, but I'm not complaining. A specialized storage maker from the UK. Hello, Mr. Wonky Goblin. Welcome. Let me see. Is that interesting? Oh, that's a slow working homepage today. I see. Interesting. I'll keep that on tabs and put it in the video description for later. So basically, I think if you buy yourself a miniatures game and you just stick with the core set, yeah, I can get when somebody is annoyed that it doesn't fit in the box after it's been assembled. Then again, if you're adding to that pile and it doesn't fit anymore, well, that's somehow to be expected, I think. They might not be overpriced, but since they are a UK-based seller, it possibly is a bit expensive to import them, but As I said, I'll take a look at their homepage later on in more what do you call it? When I've got a little bit more time on my hands. If board games seem to enjoy a lot of replacing the plastic inserts of their of the box they come in with some kind of foam insert, which I completely get why people want that, and I do get that. At some games it works, with other games it stops at your nth addition to that game. Uh, there's just a physical limitation. But it's beyond the point. So, what I would like to brainstorm a bit about is how I'm going to plan my hobby year for 2026. There is so much sitting and waiting to be done, and I'm not sure how to start on these things. Currently, well, we're playing 40k. I have no urge on painting 40k at the moment, simply because I don't know where to start on that. No reverse. I'm not going to use a spreadsheet. Stop it. So there's basically the most that I'm still lost track on is Legion, sadly, and a few BattleTech miniatures, the whole lot of Armored Clash, and still some Bot War. Currently, I'm the urge to just build stuff is very high, but I know if I just start building stuff like an insane lunatic that I am, I'd end up with a huge pile of plastic and don't get anything painted ever. Translating your rulebook into German, Mr. Wonky Goblin, will be something I'll do on my spare time while working. That shouldn't be too hard, I hope. Split into areas, games you want to play, armies you want to complete, stuff you want. See, there's the trouble. New stuff. Currently, I'm not really wanting anything new, with the big exception of the upcoming Kickstarter from Westphalia with the mice and cats. The previews I've seen so far are looking very, very tasty, and I really hope the minis are not too expensive. Yes, Pinhead, we were a bit low on participation for pledges, but that's for me simply due to the fact that I know I won't keep track of my pledges, and 2 weeks later I will have forgotten all about them. So why even bother making pledges? Not wanting anything new is not a problem. It feels like a problem. I know it's technically a blessing in disguise, but still, it's somehow. It's an irritating feeling. There's so far there has nothing been announced for Legion that fits my factions, so no need to get those. I'm not sure if we will ever be able to fit in Armored Clash as a game with my friend and I, so that might end up just being in storage until God knows how and when. And then there's way more 40k stuff sitting around this room that I like to. Uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Admit. Yeah, you post updates, but that doesn't mean that I remember my pledges, does it? Throw it in the trash. Who's the heretic now, Mister Dutch? No. Plastic miniatures do not belong in the trash. At least not in this household. Not if a majority of those miniatures is seemingly worth bazillion dollars to some weird people on eBay. So how are you lot planning on going about your hobby 2026? I know Dutch is still very much caught between a rock and a hard place in doing his hobby room. But what about the rest of you lot? Wonky Goblin is making his game. Spores, if I remember correctly. But what about everybody else? Yeah, you should be painting, potentially. Oh, Demon Sap has gone kaput on his bank account by ordering a PlayStation 5. Well, enjoy your PlayStation 5. Denley wants to do board gaming. Or more board gaming. Well, that's always a nice thing to do. And Jefferson Powers is going to try to focus more on games that he wants to play than treating the pile of opportunity as a to-do list. Yeah, that's the thing. If things stack up, they feel like a missing the word again. Oh god. Brainium is completely fucked again. Hold on a sec. I need to get my dictionary. Would you kindly go and flock off? Can't even type to my obligation. That's the word I was looking for. So when your pile of opportunity feels like an obligation, yeah, it sucks. At least for me, it drains the fun out of building and painting them. Chore burden, yeah, that also works. Tuffy's gaming group is working through Warhammer quests, starting with Silver Tower. That's a lot of stuff you have to go through. Good luck on achieving that. Orinoco needs his suggestion for Club's convention game done? No, okay. Yeah, you shouldn't be saying I have to get this painted. That's the thing. And weirdly enough, for BattleTech and Frostgrave and Star Wars Legion, my friend had only partially painted armies. Well, technically, he didn't have any miniatures for Frostgrave, so we played with mine, and his were, if painted at all, then just one or two coats of different colors. 40k, on the other hand, his Chaos Force was fully painted for years now, and I turned up with primed orcs. Some of them not even primed, so plastic and bare metal. Someone suggested to me to drop all the boss retinue and grab a looted vehicle, but yeah. Silver Tower, Blackstone Fortress, Cursed City, and Dark Water. Yeah, just be playing that, Tuffy, or building, painting, and then be playing? I mean, judging by your paint speed, you'll be done with them within a weekend or so. Oh, and speaking of Warhammer 40k orcs, I was a bit surprised to see that Games Workshop still sells the old orc boys, that the ones I have from allegedly 2018, but just in a kit of 11 orcs for 37 euros. Jeebus. Well, if you want to focus on fewer games, may I suggest you make a selection of games you want to focus on and put the others way back, away out of your sight? Oh, so Taffy, your Warhammer Questy things are already done then. Well, in that case, have fun playing them. May the dice be ever in your favor. And is it just me, or is the first 2 weeks, hobby-wise, a rather slow on news? I haven't seen much. Maybe Christmas is still uh, having everybody's money. Is it though? Maybe they are all still drunk. Demons up. That's good. Good question. I don't think January is a bad time to release anything per se. It may be not a good time for a big release, but I think you could still put out word for upcoming stuff, like Westphalia have done now for the last 6 weeks, to ramp up interest for a Kickstarter or a crowdfunding or just a general release of miniatures and additional stuff. Well, I guess that's true for the most part, but at the same time, there's a fuck ton of teenagers running around with Christmas money to spend. At least that's how it mostly went when I was younger, and now with my nephews, that when Christmas comes around and they don't really have any wishes that are particularly easy to fulfill, they just get an envelope with some money, and then they will run off and buy drugs and I don't know. Oh, Jefferson Post, I know that feeling of buying stuff and having it not starting right away. What is it with us that we as a gamer can't really either finish stuff before we buy new stuff or just get things done in a timely fashion? It's an eternal churn on buy, build, paint, buy, build, paint. But we don't wait until we are bored. We don't wait until we're bored to find new things to do. Yeah, I get that, but maybe, just maybe, being bored from time to time would would do us some good. There have been people on record saying, or having made studies and saying that, yeah, if you're bored, your creativity will flourish. Oh, that's also true, Wonky Goblin. Sometimes the planning is, in fact, more fun than actually doing it, especially if your brain works like mine and you make plans for certain things that in your mind work perfectly but fail in real life because you can't execute them as perfectly. For example, when cutting XPS foam and you go, yeah, if I could just go this angle, this will match perfectly, but bugger all can I cut the angle the exact way I want it. Yeah, I agree, Jefferson. We are overstimulated to a degree that is not really helping. And that's one of the reasons I have no social media on my smartphone. None. I have my messaging services to communicate with my family, and that's more or less it. Emails, yes. Instagram, no. Facebook, no. YouTube, don't use it on a phone. So, yeah, that's very relaxing when I'm outside, and the only thing that could happen on my phone is me being looking up something on the internet or getting a call. The Wonky Goblin had his idea for the game complete in his head, and now he kept only two of the original ideas. Well, that's development, potentially. Game development, if you will. Dan Lee only uses LinkedIn while he's job hunting. Well, see, I'm registered at LinkedIn, but that's a page I only go for on a PC when I'm actively writing emails, communicating with customers. So yes, Demon Sub, I know. What madness is this? Catching a call on your mobile phone. Who would ever thought to use it in such ways? They are called telephones for a reason. But in all seriousness, if any of you feel overwhelmed by social medias and you not solely relying on your mobile device for entertainment, but also are using a stationary device like a laptop or semi-stationary device like a laptop or PC, get rid of social media apps from your phone. It's just not worth it. Playtesting is brutal. You can't get too attached to anything. Yeah, it's. I think that's why I would be a horrible designer of anything in that kind of sphere, because I just wouldn't want to let go of any good idea, even if it totally doesn't fit the bill. Oh, Wonky. Just out of curiosity, you probably have heard from Uncle Adam of Tabletop Minions. He has a podcast now. It's the Snarling Badger podcast, where he's joined by Vince Venturella, which is his partner in crime when doing miniature games. Maybe you want to look into that podcast and listen to some of their experience within the last 15 years about game design. I think that could be a good match. Just stroke my head. So, Snarling Badger Studios and their podcast. Yeah, Demon Sub, I get that too. It's and even if the phone is not beeping and ringing all the time, people tend to just glue their faces in front of them. I mean, if I'm by myself and I'm sitting somewhere waiting for someone, having your phone in front of your face reading stuff is the same as reading a book or reading a newspaper. But when people are having company, that just feels off. Yes, they do print on demand, and their zine they do is on drive-through RPG question mark, I think. And the podcast they is a relative new thing they do. I think it's about 12 episodes in now, something like that. Well, there's a trick to that, Crispin. Light a candle just before you go on the old throne. That gets rid of all the smell. Just be sure that you light the candle before you take a dump. After that, it could lead to spontaneous combustion, which is something you don't want to have happen in your toilet. I mean, in all fairness, I know that I myself have been looking at my phone for reasons while in company, but usually it's just checking if my wife has sent me a text or something and then putting it away again. That was. Yeah, that might be true. We, if only there was a way to ask him if that was he meant. Oh, you're all a sick bunch. I love you nonetheless. Bring a canary. I don't think that Peter will approve. I'm pretty sure that most of you are around my age, if not even older, so you all might remember times when we just went over to a friend's house, rang the doorbell, and asked their mum, "Can you come out to play?" And I feel that's missing from today's society. Just the sheer it, 30 years ago, if you made an appointment with somebody to meet up for a game or something, or just to have a chat and dinner, or to go to the cinema, you made a date and a time, and you'd all be there, and that's it. And today, I feel it's just way too easy for people to bail out at the last possible minute, which is a shame. I mean, I do get that there is the occasional catastrophe happening and you need to bail, but usually, no. If you're committing to something, you should commit. Don't marry your niece, Crispin. Your wife will hate you for that. But yeah, looking forward to seeing if you're catching a flight over here anywhere. She's going to marry an Italian. Oh. Oh! An American girl marrying an Italian in Germany. That sounds like a very terribly written book. Oh, she's a German by birth then. Okay. Still a weird book. Excuse me. Bottle empty. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, and Zoidpinhead, thanks for asking early on. Yes, the lag is better now. The cramp from last week has luckily not evolved into anything major. But please remind me not to do that kind of stunt again in front of the camera. That was painful. Raised in Düsseldorf. Well, that's a weird part of Germany. Oh. Carbon dioxide. I didn't bend over Zoidbin head. I lowered the chair very much and had to stretch my legs under the table in order to get even further down. And at that point, my right leg was just going bananas. It's a weird part because it's a highly densely populated area. Especially when compared to my local region. It's just, yeah. Too tall. I'm only 6 foot. If I remember the conversion correctly. Let me check. Double check. I think I've checked way back before. It's not working. Yeah, it's about 6 foot is correct. Oh, well, I'm going to shrink at some point, I guess. Good night, Team and Sub. Thanks for dropping by. Enjoy your week. 5.8. So you're a tiny man. I've been average my whole life in regards to age, height, and body weight. I think the only thing I'm below average is income and potentially life expectancy, but that's to be seen. Judging by all my male relatives, I think I've got 35 years to go, and then it's time for the burner. But that's beside the point. That's very dark, and that's not hobby related. Quick, somebody think of a topic for a show about. No, don't blame the brown lemonade. Can't be blamed for everything. Wonky Goblin is easy to spot at conventions, so either you're very wide or you're very tall. Thick 6'4". Well, that's yep. You might have want to get yourself one of these hats with lights on top, being all the lighthouse. Still no hobby context. I could have gone for just listing up current projects on OTT, but somehow that felt wrong. Excuse me. That was brown lemonade. So, coming back to my plans for 2026, what to do? This is my army for playing 40k. Now, to shock everybody, that's my terrain. Notice anything specially? Lord Pinhead's mate has put together 120 minutes. Should he paint in batches or all in one go? Well, it depends on scale and are they the same kind of unit, I guess. If they are in various units, so like unit types and snipers, etc., I guess I would mixed units of medieval. I think I would just make up batches that look like they would go well in a similar paint scheme, if that makes sense. So if they are medieval, maybe have a group of people coming from one village and another group of people coming from a different village, but something that ties them together. Other than that, when I had built all the wizards and warriors from my first two Frostgrave boxes, I just went bananas. So I just primed them black, gave them a good zenithal coating with white, and then used speed paints like nobody's business and just didn't care for any coherent look, more or less. So it depends on how much time he is already also on his hand. If he's let's say he can only get to paint for 30 minutes to an hour a day per week or every day, then smaller units, smaller batches would be more reasonable, I think. If he's got only one day in a week, let's say he's just has time on Sundays to paint for 3, 4, 5 hours in one go, then he would be quicker with going nuts on all of them simultaneously. And it also depends on how much detail he wants to put into them. If it's just if he just wants to have them colored, prime, add 2 or 3 base colors, and then start picking out details like swords and leather and metal bits. But what's he after? Is he after a potentially prize-winning best painted army, or does he just want to have a colorful levy of peasants on the table? And I don't know where I heard this first, but having miniatures done is better than having them on the table for eternity to trying to get them to perfect. Yeah, see, if maybe he should just start with something similar like that, grabbing a fistful of minis, going through them one by one, and then see if he finds his own rhythm, so to speak. I think it's a very personal thing, and also, at least for me, it's often very dependent on which mental state I'm in. If I really have time on my hand and I know I have nowhere to be and I can just waste, quote unquote, 4 hours in one go on miniature painting, go for it. Yeah, wonky. The North Star miniatures are just great for options and building stuff. They are the way they go together and how the sprues are put together and created. That, to me personally, that's peak miniatures. That's what I like about miniatures. Having choices within a given set of minis, not being restrained by, yeah, you have 4 heads, 4 pairs of legs, 8 arms, and 4 heads, and that's it. You can just go nuts if you want. I mean, same goes for my BattleTech minis. Most of them, and you can see that over at my project and on tabletop, I just had a fuck it, let's get these suckers done, primed, highlighted, and then just went to town with speed paints. No, no plan, no deeper thought in what to do with them, how they should look. Just looking at the one miniature at a time and going, "You're going to be a rainbow-colored unicorn because you got your weird antenna on top of your head," and just go for it. It's just paint. If you don't like it, you can rub it off again and get some Dettol or paint stripper and remove it and just start again if you don't like it. Nobody can tell you that your paint job is wrong if you like it. It's your fucking paint job. It's your mini. Own it. Oh, and speaking of miniatures and owning it, Jill, just in case you're listening while doing your own hobby, I really want to take credit for the beetle bumblebee butt on your potential Tyranid big guy. I really would like to see that being a fluffy, but but you do you and enjoy your I almost said zerglings, your nits. The butter is resisting. The bottle has ceased resisting. Cheers. Well, rough is one thing, but at the same time, what I always find interesting is how different at times my miniatures look compared to pictures. So having them in my hand, looking at them just with my old eyes, they have a completely different feel to what I am able to catch on camera. And when I start using this bugger, it even gets weirder. So technically, I see all my miniatures in 3 different versions. The one I use for gaming, the one I use for painting, And then the excuse me, the painted one taken picture set on outside the world. Hooray for Dutch, who has painted a door. Oh, in any case, has anybody seen Caesar? I'm missing also comics on the side. They have been so great fun in the last few years, and ever since he started doing his own business, I almost said. Yeah, that's probably fine. And sadly, Mel Tarantuta has gone missing again after his last seemingly going up again. He's getting paid to draw now. Yeah, I'm guessing that's a valid point. Getting paid to do stuff and not doing shit for free. And also, YouTube is currently in an absolute state of chaos. I can't remember how many times in recent weeks I've seen creators go, "Oh, YouTube must change," and "Oh no, I've been demonetized," and the sheer volume of AI generated shit that's been pissing into my stream. It's just ah. Who fell over and knocked his teeth out? Woggy, are you talking about Mel? Uh, I don't know if Christmas did a number on him, but let's see. Yeah, last video was 2 months ago. So yeah, even prior to Christmas, he went dark again. Oh, I mean, I get it when Mel has something he needs taken care of, but he at least could have. I mean, where did you get those news? If anything, I thought somebody would have made a community post somewhere. He's really. I don't get it. He's seemingly such a nice guy, and he really just tries to make people smile, and then getting hit in the face over and over again. You see, I'm on his Facebook groups too, but I didn't see anything in that regard. And to be honest, if you're a YouTuber and you want to make money with YouTube, your community tab should be the one. Oh, now I see. Okay, see, 2 weeks ago I was roughly 2 weeks ago, just past Christmas, I think, I was looking at Mel's site, and yeah, 13 days ago he did post on uh, on his community page. Hi folks, just wanted to pop on. Hope you had a happy Christmas and wish you a happy New Year. Sorry I haven't been around this month. Had a bit of an accident at the start of the month, and I'm having to have some extensive dental work, which won't be resolved until March. So I really do not want to face YouTube right, certain not a smile. I'm missing a front tooth. Also a ridiculously lisp due to the work that's been done. It's been getting better, and I hope this could be a voice message, but I still sound really daft, and it's quite excessive. On the plus side, it's been getting better, and I should be able to at least do voice on the videos in the next 2 weeks. Christmas has been busy for me. A gift of some orcs from a friend has seen me delve into Kill Team, although I'm hold off on terrain until next week when I can't start to film it. Anyway, I'm alive and well, just on soft foods and having kids really take the mic. In the meantime, I hope you have a happy new year, and I hope to see you soon. See, that's even better. I thought Mel hadn't gotten himself someone to help with promoting stuff. I think I've seen that video, Zoidpinhead, but I'm not sure about if I do remember details. Dutch, yeah, he should do a text-only blog or something, especially since he already owns one that he has used actively way back when. I mean, at least he had one. I don't know if he still has it. If he still has it, it really looks still very old school. Let's see. It's not in his YouTube description. So maybe he has just... Nope, it's still there. theterraintutor.co.uk. And yeah. His last entry is from... doesn't even put up a date. But the embedded video is... Drum roll, please. 12 years old. Yeah, 12 years is really not done much. So let me see if I can... where's my... This... See, there's his homepage. Which basically is just an ordinary blog. Still doesn't look too bad. But, yeah. It's ancient. But it's there. He just needs to fill it with content. Oh, Jeebus fucking Christ. Well, he could start by reposting... Or let me rephrase it. He could use it as a hub for information like no video next coming weeks because of reason. That would just make stuff so much more easy. And yeah. Hello, Mr. Cry Primer Nikki. Yeah. Best don't think about how much you earn. And I'm not going to say how little I get out of these streams, because it's really not. It, it's just nice that something drops off occasionally, and it's not something I need to be dependent on. All right, it's potentially a bit more than 5 cents per year, but I think across the last 5 years, if I really take all the years I've tried to make stuff happening, I got 200, 300 euros. So roughly €1 per Hobby Hangout. Wonky says he thinks a modern channel is too much work for one person. I disagree. You can make it work, but, and that's the big but, you need to be very well versed in many things, and you need to be on top of your game all the time. It's possible, but it's a fucking hell of a job. The electricity doesn't count, Orinoco, because that if I weren't here streaming, I'd be playing video games or something. So the electricity would be used up anyway. Nick, I don't think you need so much more time for Patreon, but the thing is, if you want to fund yourself via the means of crowdfunding, you need a certain threshold of users. You need a crowd before the crowdfunding comes, and you need something that appeals to people so that they are inclined to give you money just for you making your content. Most Patreons creators do that by making special content, which is fine. But if you can't do that, then you need a very dedicated crowd that really wants to that you continue to do your stuff. And I see that this then is a level of additional work which can break the camel's back. No, Redverse, it's not OnlyFans. It's similar but different. But could be the same. Don't get me started on hot tubs again. I mean, to be fair, it would be a hilarious thing just to have an OnlyFans account for completely innocent reasons, like we hang out together and we do hobby. Only hands painting channel, yeah. And then employ some hand model to do the painting. Never mind how bad the miniature looks at the end of the day, but beautiful fingers. No, not naked. I don't think that they forgot that sex sells. I think they underestimated how good it would become. I can't get one of those, whatever these virtual avatars, whatever they're called, are. That would just put too much strain on my system, so you have to live with my ugly face. A voice changer. VTuber. I'm never going to be a VTuber. That way only madness lies. But funny thing, go back on my YouTube channel and look at the very first videos I did. I'm not going to say anymore. The VTuber is just a short form for virtual YouTuber, I think, and I can't remember what the name was of the software I used way back when. It was an animation software that I got for very cheap on I think it was Humble Bundle back then. And it worked crudely. Let's just say the facial recognition was of its time. But it was good enough for some fun little skits and making fun of Warren. But then again, it was bare bones, so it didn't follow on with that. Damn it, now I want to know how that software was called again. Do I really need to start up? Well, don't blame me for that. That's Mother Nature for you. Let's see. How was that called? I'm not seeing any of your talks. I'm just looking at my Steam list right now. No. What was it called again? Phase Rig. That's the one. Phase Rig from 2021. I'm not even sure that software would still work on my current system anymore. And no, I don't have a calendar full of fans. I'm much for passive cooling. Yeah, but those were simpler times? Question mark. I do remember that I was utterly nervous when doing the first Hobby Hangout. I almost shat myself. It was a breath of fresh air, that calendar. Yes, yes. And speaking of fans, do you not remember Fan Cam from the boot camps with the backstages on Beast of War back in the day? Before the event? You sure you're calling you're meaning a Steam Deck, not a Stream Deck? Yes, Tuffy, all hail fan cam. Oh, what fun we had way back in the day. Question to you a lot in Ireland. The other hobby shop that's opened, Misfits Hobbies. Have you taken a look at that? Is it an interesting place to play games, or is it just a big empty room? It's so long ago, I start thinking it might have been just a dream. Those were the days. So when you're going up to Coleraine and to visit the lads of OTT, then you might just wander in at Misfits Hobbies then, Nick. Do I understand you correctly on this? Every time I'm just asking because out of sheer curiosity, I'm following them on a face page, and every time they put up new pictures from the store, I take a real close look to see if I catch anyone from the OTT crew sitting around there. haven't haven't been able to catch anyone yet. Wonky wants to know if anyone from the UK is going to Beachhead next month. Isn't it a bit cold to go to the beach at this time of year? The OTT place is small, but they make great use of the space, the room length gaming tables. So I think they call it the visitor center, if I remember correctly. And I do remember a walkthrough when they first went into that space and had some decorations done. It's always hard to gauge how big or small a room is if you're not there in person. So could be big or small to my knowledge in any way, shape, or form. It's a conversation in Bournemouth. The convention, I guess you want to say. And usually conventions are inside, so rain doesn't really affect you, does it? At least I hope there's a roof for that convention. The only big thing in regards to bootcamp from OTT is this. My head really doesn't fit base caps very well. Buy merch, get a fez. No worries, Wonky. Most of the time, I get what is meant to be typed or used via voice recognition. It just amazes me that you're using Twitch on your phone because I couldn't. No, I really no. I mean, I could use it to watch content on Twitch. That's some. Yeah, I could do that, but I wouldn't participate in chat on a phone. I hate typing on phones. I hate it so much. I really. I want my keyboard. Something that's sturdy enough to hit someone in the face with it. I guess that's showing my age. I'm unwilling to use small tech for stuff when I have a big tech. Salute can't be that bad. It's been running for some time now. That being said, some things get bad over time. Case in point, Wacken Open Air. That's been just a mass of overpriced beer, basically. Almost like Oktoberfest. But that's beside the point. Oh, you just let that mock you, Redverse. If you type slowly, but you type without any error or weird autocorrections, then you're still way ahead of them. Salute started in the 1980s. Well, that's... Well, I guess if it started in the 1980s, that makes that thing almost 40 years old, so... I guess some things do change over time. Question is it for better or for worse? Things... I'm not averse to change in general, but if you see change go only follow the route of the money, then that's not my cup of tea. Plus, the hobby has changed in the last 40 years as well. Pinhead went in the early 1990s when they were at Kensington Town Hall. Better now, but much more a shopping day than gaming thing. Well, as long as the shopping is accompanied by discounts, aplenty, can't see really anything bad about that. I mean, that's... For me, that's one of the main reasons why I go to conventions, to have a place where everything that's new and shiny is in one place, and I can actually grab it and take a closer physical look with it. To have a better judgment of, do I really want to spend that money on there? Good night, Dutch. Have fun painting your doors. I mean, who doesn't like 20% off? it's important to the industry to help open wallets. Yeah. Wonky. Yeah, but I think Games Expo isn't meant to be a wargaming centric event. I think it's more like Spiel in Essen, so a broader generic body game time thing with some kind of miniature adjacent content. Well, especially now that Spiel has Golden Demon happening, which I find is interesting. Oh no, Redworth has been forced into holiday with his wife for salute. Oh no. See, Nick, what you're pointing out there, the convention made tables are, I think, almost at every convention the main focus of stuff that brings me joy, be that Tactica, Spiel, or anything else I can only see online. If you can see that gaming groups, clubs dedicate and their passion and time and resources to do some really astounding tables at time, it's really, yeah, it's inspiring and at the same time very depressing because I know I will never be able to do those things because I simply do not have the time, the money, and at least, last but not least, not the space. Well, Wonky, once your game is entering, let's say, beta test phase and is almost ready to ship, you really want to go to more wargaming conventions and have people talk about your game. And speaking of talking, I am part of a group, technically, Zoidpinhead, but that's literally at the other side of town, and the group efforts in the past have been meh. It's more like, yeah, we all rent a space together to be able to be playing something, but there's a how to put it, a lack of community feeling. It's like, yeah, we got 20ish people wanting to play a game, but the second you tell them, yeah, we need to build terrain to be able to play, suddenly there's only two guys left. And it's just, yeah, it's no fun that way. Or maybe I'm just looking for people in the wrong places. That might be on me, but then again, I don't have time for more than that. So yeah, I'll stick to my small corner of the world and do what I can. Maybe someday, maybe not. Who knows? Are there enough for a crusade? Yeah, I think there's enough for a crusade, but only if you don't mention doing work at in any capacity. But as I was going to say, speaking about speaking, I don't know where went, where my brain was heading. I think I talked enough for tonight. Uh, I'm starting to lose train of thought. And also, I don't have anything sitting in front of my cranium that wants to get out now. So I'm going to stop the stream do the upload, and then hopefully we'll see Jerry next week. Please, or at least hear something from him, and so that we know where anything happened. And we do need a weekender this week. I'm having serious withdrawal symptoms for weekender, not to at the least ex-LBS. So you stay crispy, you enjoy your hobby, and I'll be back next Tuesday with or without Jerry. So whatever happens, happen. Good night.